Hey guys, hey again. So I just took like a 5-second break and I'm making the next video. I think my phone's about to die. So I'm going to read chapter 7. This is my 8th video. So I'm going to read chapter 7. There's a few notes on it, nothing too extra. And like I said, this chapter actually will help me delve a lot more into the characters and into why or what they are. Again, like I said, they're just imagination. They do whatever I want them to do. They're not vampires, they're not fairies. They're just whoever I want them to be. They're just Aelin and River. You know? Okay, so I'm going to read chapter 7. It's called Draining. So there's some parts that are italicized, so I think I will go like this. And when it's italicized, it means that they went into the past. So again, I'll explain this in the end. So, are you ready? I shuddered. Yeah. Do you remember what we did before we left? Why does this have to happen? I began to burn from the inside out. Tell me anything you remember. I ran and sat in a corner. He left the room and the record stopped playing. The water from my eyes was blurring my vision. Give me your arm. I gave it to him without making eye contact. I winced. Can you remember anything? It should be flowing in. Blood from my arm was paining the floor. I began to see myself walking in an empty field in the dead of the night. There was no sound and only stars decorating the sky. So, unquote. I gasped. I was back in my apartment. Where do you I was gone again. River was with me, his cold hands flowing into mine. Then someone else appeared, a man. I felt, close quote, I fell back into the apartment for a moment. Open quote. I was back on the field, on top of the man. River took me off him and cut out his tongue. Stop, I screamed. No, it's my turn. He held my heart with his eyes and I smiled. I gasped. I gasped. I looked up at River holding me. I was so cold. I was back on the field. There was blood all over us, and the man was dismembered all over the field. I looked at River. I wanted to touch, it's still in the quote. I wanted to touch his insides. He kissed me, his tongue trilled the crevice of my mouth. I love your insides. Unquote. I lost my breath. I pushed myself out of the River's arms and lied on the floor in my apartment like a child covered in my own blood, draining. Okay, I can heal you now. No. You're draining. His voice was so calm. I fought him and he held me down and licked my wound. I screamed and cursed him. Then I faded. So I need a pen. Hopefully this pen works. Okay, so that was Draining. So that's a big premise for the book. So that pen broke, just you guys know. Hopefully ink doesn't go everywhere. So this is a big premise in the book. So they drain. So what happened was in my original book, I defined draining in the original copy. So I said drain, empty something accomplished by allowing liquid to run out of it. And I decided to take it out. So first I will tell you guys what the draining means for these characters. Then I'll tell you why I think I came up with draining. And I need to edit something too, but I don't know. Okay, so for the characters, how it goes is they kill people. They spend time killing people and doing their own lives. And generally what happens is, and I think this will be explained in the next chapter, but generally what happens is they forget sometimes. Sometimes they don't take on the memory. One of them will forget. And what happens is their partner has to cut them, and then they drift in and out of the past, and they go back into the past. They're like, oh my, and they pick up the memory, and it's up to their partner to lick their wound at a certain point where they've taken in enough information about the past to complete a memory, and then lick their wound, close the wound, and then they're back. And what happens is if they don't close this wound, they will taken to themselves that murder that they did. So say for instance a man was dismembered, Aelin would have been dismembered in front of River, and thus leaving River by himself, which again isn't a good thing. And again, this will be explained in the next chapter. So why I think I've done this is I guess not to get too personal, but like it's personal enough, but like it's a part of life, is I'm pretty sure it's connected to having my period. I'm pretty sure. I don't really know why I wrote it. Like I said, it did happen around the summer of 2009 when like I was just rushing out stuff. But looking at it, I do feel like there is something very kind of primitive about being on your period and feeling like a certain way that kind of brings you back to the past, and like back to this kind of like fetal being, this pain, this like involvement and feeling of how you feel on the inside, and like taking time to yourself, etc. So I think they're slightly connected. Again, this is something that generally is the only way these creatures or creations will die, is if they're unable to take on the past. So also going on to the topic of we all do need to know a bit about our past. We all need to know a bit about our roots, but again, don't get too involved in it. Don't get drowned in something that doesn't exist anymore, unfortunately, right? So, but you do need to have at least basic information to fulfill like your life. So, I wrote here, I was like having your period, only time River has this moment written in before. I'm not sure what that means. Sorry, I guess I'll explain that later. So River remembers what happened. So I'm not too sure how they realized that Aelin forgot. But like I said, you see the lines, I love your insides, you love my insides. So something was there, but like how the book started was she woke up and she's like, how did I get here? Like she did lose something, and River and her talked about it and said, okay, let's go pick up that memory. Also, some other notes. Let's see. So I found this. So he left the room and the record stopped playing. So this I kind of got from this song called Intensity in 10 Cities by Chiodos. I'm not sure, but they're a great band. This song's not my favorite song by them. They have so many like amazing songs, but that's where I got that track from. So I will put a link underneath. Also, like I said, I italicized everything, so, or the points where they go into the back. So I realized while reading that I didn't have to quote and unquote stuff, because she kind of does describe going in and out of it. But yeah, I just want to let you guys know it is italicized here. Just, she's in the past, she picks up a few things, and then generally they don't want to come back. They want to stay in the past. And again, if their partner can't help them out, it's not going to be a good time. So again, almost like again, you need support when you're on your period or something like that. And yeah, so I edited what I could. I did that. So I'm going to read chapter 8. And like I said, more or less everything I just said will be explained in chapter 8. And I'll go into more detail for anything that I didn't say in this video. So yeah, I'm going to go to that chapter. So I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.